Hey, it's Alicia here. How do you normally respond to that gut feeling you get sometimes when you think about doing something and you have either a bad feeling in your stomach or a feeling of excitement or butterflies? Now, sometimes this feeling can be subtle, and other times it's so strong, it's pretty hard to miss, right? So, when that happens, do you pay attention to it? Do you ignore it, not notice it at all? Now, think about this. How would it feel to increase your chance of making better decisions? What would that mean to you? How might that make your life different? There's a way to help you do that, which you already have. It's listening to your gut feeling or intuition. So, how does that work? Well, luckily, it's pretty straightforward. Here's one way I came up with to use this innate guidance or intuition to help you make better decisions. It's called the Intuition Decision Mastery Method. And here's what you do. All right, first, think about a decision you want to or have to make. Then come up with two possible options for what to do. Next, think of the first option. All right, now it's time to pause and pay attention to the feeling in your stomach. Does it feel good and make you happy? Does it feel bad or seem like a warning? Is it neutral and there's no feeling at all? So what is it? What are you feeling? All right, you note down the response. You note the response for the first option. You can either do that mentally or write it down, whichever you prefer. Repeat the process using the second option. So go through that same process, second option. Now you note that response as well, and either just think about it or you can write it down, whichever. Okay, now it's time to compare your two gut feeling responses that you received for each option. Was there a clear winner? Meaning, was one of them, like, did it feel really good and maybe even exciting? If so, go with that choice. Were the feelings you felt in your stomach for both options similar? So maybe there was a clear winner, maybe not. In this case, maybe they were both similar. So if they were similar, then here's what you do. So first of all, if they were similar, were the feelings for both of them positive or negative? So that's the next question you ask yourself. If they were both positive, choose the one that you like more. If you like them both the same, just pick the first option and keep going. If, however, they were both negative, come up with a third option and then pause and repeat that process again. Think about it. How does it make you feel? All right. So now with this third option, if your gut or intuition tells you that this is a good option, great, awesome. Go with that one. If not, continue to brainstorm options until you get a positive response. And this is something to make sure you keep in mind. The intensity of the positive response doesn't matter as long as it's positive and not negative. So it could just be mildly positive. That's totally fine. It just shouldn't be negative, because if it's negative, that's your intuition saying, no, really, don't do this. Like, just wait. Don't make the decision. Figure out another one. Okay. So that's what that negative feeling's telling you. All right. So that said, there is an exception to this if you do have a negative feeling. So you might have negative gut feelings when you do something new or different. And, but it's just the discomfort versus really don't do it. So to determine, if you're not sure if it's just that discomfort of change or the unknown, versus where you really need to come up with another option and pick that instead. So go ahead and pause and then ask yourself this question to make that determination. Will it be good for me to move forward with this decision? So ask that question and then pause and wait for the answer and see how you feel. If the answer to that question in your gut, or in your stomach, you have a feeling that's positive, then the answer is yes, okay? But if you still have negative feelings in your stomach, then the answer is no, and you need to think of a different option for your decision. Okay, so you repeat this process until you get a positive response. All right, well, that's the process that you go through to use your inner knowing or gut feeling to make better decisions. And, so just repeat that for your decisions and keep going through there, and you'll make better decisions. Now, here are some tips to use for this intuition decision mastery method. So these are tips to help you as you do it. It's like anything. The more you get used to doing things a certain way, the easier it becomes. This process will become, if you do it consistently, the process will become a habit, and it will, you'll just naturally do it. You won't even have to think about, okay, what should I be doing next, et cetera, et cetera. So, and it is really a great way to use your intuition, your inner guidance, like however you want to think about that, right? For some of you, you might think of God, you believe in God. For some of you might not. You might believe in nature, like the power of nature. You might think of like a higher power versus God. Or just if you don't even believe in any of that, think of like the most positive thing, which in my opinion is pure love. So if you think about that, think of this guidance, like very well-intentioned guidance coming to you, and you're perceiving it in your stomach for that gut feeling. Like that's what this is all about. Like really pure love in your best interest. That's how you can tap into that. Okay. So here are a few tips for using this method. Okay. Make sure you're really focusing on what your stomach is trying to tell you. If possible, remove or minimize distractions while you're doing this, and pay attention to really what you're feeling in your stomach. All right. If you're not sure of the response, you ask the question again and repeat the process. So you're not sure, just go ahead and repeat it. Maybe it was just, you were distracted in some other way that you might not have, realized. So just ask it again. Okay. Then you might get a feeling, and it might be neutral. It might be that, really it wasn't a good or a bad. It was really more neutral. And if so, keep thinking of decision options until you get a positive feeling. And again, as mentioned earlier, even if it's only slightly positive. So you definitely want a positive, regardless of whether it's a tiny positive or a big, oh my gosh, yes, I've got to do this. Okay. All right. And the last tip is, if your stomach is rumbling a bit, ignore it, if that's possible. If it's not possible, then do this exercise at another time when your stomach has settled enough for you to be able to determine if you're hungry, or, the feeling you're getting is because you're hungry, or you might have a slightly upset stomach, or if it's your intuition. So just, if your stomach is rumbling, it's probably best to just do it at another time. Okay. So there you go. So the more you pause and listen to your inner guidance or your intuition, the better you'll become at making decisions, and the better you become at decision making, then the easier it is to identify and reach the goals that support your purpose. That amazing reason you're here on earth to fulfill. I believe each of us is here on earth for a reason. Like, it's no mistake that you're here. You're here for a reason. You're an incredible one-of-a-kind wonder, because no one else has ever been like you. No one else will ever be like you. So you are in a unique position to contribute to your own life, to the lives of, those you care about, and to the world in a way that only you can, because nobody else is exactly like you. So, those amazing positive things you're here to do, this can help you. Making better decisions can help you with this. All right, you've got this. All right. Well, if you would like more videos on ways to become the best you, so you can fulfill that amazing purpose you're here on earth to fulfill, hit the subscribe button and keep believing in yourself. Like, seriously, believe in yourself and your purpose, because I do. The world is a better place because you're here, and believe that, okay? And start taking action to, do those things that light you up and to help you fulfill your purpose. All right. Again, please keep believing in yourself. I do. All right. Bye for now.